Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. It is the first Thursday of the month, which means it is recipe time. For December, Chef Marco is getting ready for some holiday cooking, and he's been working on a couple of sweet-tasting recipes that he hopes you and Santa will enjoy. Here's Marco.
Hi, I'm Marco Ayala, and I'm here to share another recipe with all of you. It's hard to believe it's already December, it's getting cold outside, and the holidays are just around the corner. And this is the time that we get together with friends, with family, and always food is one of the highlights. So I figured that I will bring you something that you could probably make for your guests or bring if you're a guest, and there's nothing as easy as an appetizer. And we all love that, really nice, crunchy coconut shrimp that we get at restaurants. And guess what? It's very easy to make, and you can make it right at home. So that's how I thought about showing you how to make this beautiful and tasty and somewhat of an easier and healthier alternative to coconut shrimp. So let me tell you how I put this together. First, in a bowl, you're gonna combine 1 cup flour, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon paprika, 1 teaspoon onion powder, and 1 teaspoon garlic powder. And mix it well to make sure there's no clumps. Now, for the shrimp, you're gonna use raw shrimp. However, you can get it at the store already peeled with the tail done. That's the one that you want. Then, in a bowl, you're gonna beat 2 large eggs. In a separate bowl, you're gonna add 2 cups shredded sweetened coconut. And working with 1 shrimp at a time, you're gonna dip the shrimp into the flour mix until coated. Then cover it with a beaten egg, then back into the flour, and last into the sweetened coconut. Then you're gonna preheat your oven to 425 degrees. Then, on a parchment-lined baking sheet, you are going to arrange the shrimp, bake it for about 12 to 15 minutes until the shrimp is golden brown. And it is really that easy to make this beautiful coconut shrimp. Like I said, this is the kind of appetizer that you get at a restaurant, and it's just as easy to make it at home. And in this case, it's actually healthier. So I really hope you give this appetizer a try for your holidays. But as I always say, we always have room for dessert. And I figured that, given that it's the holidays, we will make something a little more special for dessert. So that's how I came up with the idea of making this hazelnut spread rugelage. And look at how beautiful this looks. Imagine this as a centerpiece of your table for dessert. So let me tell you how I put this together. For the dough, in the bowl of an electric mixer, you're gonna add 8 ounces unsalted butter at room temperature, 8 ounces cream cheese. Then with the paddle attachment, you're gonna beat it at medium speed and half a cup sugar until the sugar, cream cheese, and butter are fluffy. Then you're gonna add 3 egg yolks, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, and 1 pinch coarse salt. Once it's well combined, reduce the speed to low and start beating in the flour. Once your dough has the desired consistency, you're gonna remove it from the mixer and turn it into a lightly floured surface. Pat it and divide it into 3 portions. Then, over a piece of plastic wrap or parchment paper, pat it into a disc about 12 inches in diameter. And once you patted your 3 discs, put them into the fridge for an hour. And I recommend taking only the disc that you're using in order to keep the other ones cool, because this dough is much easier to handle when it's cool. While the dough is cooling, to a food processor, you're gonna add 4 ounces walnuts, 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon, and a pinch of salt. Then you're gonna take one of your dough discs out of the fridge and put on a thin layer of hazelnut spread all over, almost the way that you will put it on a pizza. Sprinkle it with 1/3 walnut mixture, and then you're gonna take your disc and you're going to cut it almost the same way that you will cut a pizza. In this case, you want to make 16 small triangles because then you're going to roll them into little crescent rolls. Beginning at the base of each wedge, roll to enclose the filling, forming a crescent shape. Brush the tops with beaten egg white and sprinkle them with sanding sugar. Heat your oven to 350 degrees. Place the rugelage on baking sheets that have been lined with parchment paper and bake them for about 25 minutes or until golden brown. And look how pretty they look coming out of the oven. Absolutely delicious. So I hope you give these recipes a try for the holidays. And like I said, they're beautiful, they're delicious, they're very easy to make, they're not very time consuming, so you can spend all that time with your family or your friends. And as I always say, please remember to follow us on social media so you can stay updated on what's going on and Across the Fence. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the latest updates of Across the Fence right on your phone or your computer. And from my kitchen to your kitchen, happy holidays, enjoy this season, and also enjoy your food.
Thank you, Marco, and happy holidays to you and your family as well. 98 years ago this month, President Calvin Coolidge lit the lights on the first ever national Christmas tree in Washington, D.C. And of course, the tree was from Vermont. Vermont Christmas trees are now known around the world, and there are plenty of cut-your-own operations from which to get your tree. A couple of years ago, Keith Silva met some visitors to Vermont who think Vermont trees are #1.
The tree I was looking at is a nice looking tree.
Ann Lynn and Brian King have come a long way to cut their Christmas tree.
Where are you from, Brian?
Jarrettsville, Maryland.
What are you doing here from Jarrettsville, Maryland?
These are the best Christmas trees we've ever had. Basically, they'll last 6-7 weeks if you keep water in the bucket. It's a lot of fun to come up and cut them.
What are the Christmas trees like in Maryland?
The cut your own places in Maryland will have 4 or 5 different varieties of tree. Problem is, all the ones we've cut down there, within 2 weeks, they're dropping a lot of their needles. It's all part of the Christmas experience. It's a chance to be outdoors. For us, it's a Christmas feature. We've either had a live tree or a tree that we cut all our lives.
We'll check back in with the Kings in a few minutes.
Pete, what kind of trees do we have here?
We have balsams.
Oh, just all balsams?
There's a few cananes, but the majority of them are balsams.
And how many?
Pete Purinton and his family began planting Christmas trees here in Huntington in 1990. 16,000 trees dot these 14.5 acres, and according to Purinton, each one has a look and a personality all its own.
Trees are like people. Some people are shorter, and some of them are a little wider, and some people are taller and narrower. And trees are the same way. So you take what the tree is offering and work with it.
As for that perfect Christmas tree, Purinton believes beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
That's your choice. It's just like anything else. My perfect tree is not your perfect tree. It's your taste is what will give you that fuzzy feeling. This is my tree. And it may not work for me. The magical feeling of this is my tree. You want a deep green or even a bluish color, depending on the species. Trees, again, like people, they take characteristics of their parents. Some people are bluer, some people are greener. It's just you want a deep green color.
To cut a Christmas tree at Purinton's costs $45 for any size tree. And like all choose and cut Christmas tree operations, every tree comes with a guarantee.
It is fresh. You cut it. That is truly a fresh cut, not a fresh cut from a retail lot where they take a little sliver off. That's fresh cut. This is truly fresh cut when you harvest it yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
For about 50 weekends out of the year, a Christmas tree farm is a fairly quiet place. As for those other 2 weekends, not so much.
It's the first and second weekend of December is usually the two busiest weekends. Busy would be a weekend, 600 trees. It's a lot of people going through, and the other busy weekend might be 500 or 450, something like that, but better than half your trees are sold on those 4 days.
Choosing and cutting a Christmas tree is a tradition for some families. And as the grower, Purinton plays an important role.
I'm getting to the age where I just talk to people. I don't really do the physical work of it anymore, but I'm out there joking with people because I think that's part of the reason we were successful is because people maybe have gotten used to seeing us every year, and now the next generation's coming back.
So you're part of the family. You're part of somebody. That's going to be pretty special.
Exactly. I'm a part of everybody's Christmas. I'm supplying them with something that they're happy with, that does the job, and it meets their expectations, and it feels good here. Feels good for my children, too.
Christmas tree farms are a part of Vermont's working landscape, a unique aspect of what makes Vermont, Vermont.
I had one person when I first started planting trees in this field driving by who was a neighbor. He says, "That's a nice field to be putting Christmas trees in." And I says, "You know, I could probably put 16 driveways in if you'd rather." That's not going to happen. The Christmas trees is more important than the houses.
As for the Kings, they've found their Christmas tree. And in spite of a foot of snow on the ground and a 5-hour car ride before they can get their tree home, it's all worth it.
The difficulty of walking through or having to knock the snow off the tree is more than offset by the beauty and basically the fun of having snow on the ground. Really, it's a great start to Christmas.
When it comes to Christmas traditions, choosing and cutting a Christmas tree is an experience that's sure to be a cut above. In Huntington, I'm Keith Silva with Across the Fence.
There's another connection between Christmas trees and Vermont. It's believed that the first indoor Christmas tree in America was put up by a German prisoner of war who was captured at the Battle of Bennington in 1777. And that's our program for today. Once again, thank you for joining us Across the Fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Stay well.